there. There we go. Three, two, and one. Well, Steve, welcome back to Mayor's Monday, WSAU, WSAU.com. Uh, First off, I know it's been a wild couple of weeks, to say the least. Of course, we've had ice storms. We've had 31 inches of snow, which I found out, yes, I can move by myself. It just takes me 3.5 days. We've had tornadoes. We've had ice. First off, how are you? I mean, you've survived all of this and everything, right?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, Plover, yeah, we went through the snowstorm. We got over 20 inches of snow down here. Our crew has worked long and hard. Really proud of the effort that they put in to keep our streets open. And we got a small crew, right? They worked a lot. They got the job done, worked really good. And then yeah, not long after had those ice storms, which again the response from both our employee and just our community was something really to be proud of. Um, Again, we're a small organization. Our community is growing, but our government is not very big. Even down to our fire department, right? Our fire and police departments. We're not staffed to the gills. We don't have a lot of folks, but everybody showed up, willing to lend a hand, did a lot of great work. I walked in to check on the fire department. The power was out everywhere. We had 31 calls for service from the fire side of things, which is crazy. That's unprecedented here. And to walk into our largely the fire side of things, volunteer-based group, there's over 25 folks in there that decided that, even with my full-time job, my normal day job, that I feel like I need to be here for my community, and they were here. 25 plus was remarkable to see. Worked long throughout the day, and just watching everybody step up was something really to be proud of.
Yeah. And how did you come out through all of that? I know in Stevens Points, we had, roads blocked off, all kinds of downed tree branches and things like that. I assume you had a lot of those same struggles during that storm.
Yeah, I would say we were fortunate. A lot of tree branches, not a lot of full trees. We didn't have a lot of roads blocked. Probably a lot of private property damage with branches falling on things. But again, with it happening during the day, we were fortunate to have full force of what we do have. So I think we were fortunate, especially when we look at the tornadoes up in Ringo. Ice storm was a lot of work. I'm proud of what we did, but I can't fathom what the folks up there are going through. So again, we recognize how fortunate we were that that storm could have been a lot worse. That next day, that temperatures were right at that limit where we could have had another day just like it, and we maybe wouldn't have been so fortunate. But again, fortunately, the weather warmed up to a point where that Friday we were kind of in the clear then. So
Mhm.
all in all, we came out really well.
And then I know Plover is prone to flooding too. I've been here long enough where there's been multiple times where we've heard about widespread flooding in Plover because of situations like what we've seen in the last 2 weeks. Has there been any issues with that, or have you been able to kind of manage that too as it comes?
Yeah, no Village of Plover flooding concerns. And the flooding that's happened in Plover has always been the same scenario. It's really not rainfall related. It really comes down to when the ground is frozen. Um, Being in the central sands region of the state, our soils are very porous. The water goes down quickly. The Wisconsin River is the village properties are all very high up on a bank from the river. So when that river gets high, we don't see issues. There's some town of Plover properties nearby that have some flooding issues. The stuff that happens in Plover is when the ground is frozen and there's a big snowmelt and rain and the water can't go down. That's when we've had issues. So no issues at all this spring. Nothing like what we're seeing over in Fremont, London, Shiawassee,
Mm.
nothing like that. We've been doing just fine there. We can handle some of that rainfall. Our rivers have places to go, so no issues there, fortunately.
Yeah, and of course, as we are getting into the warmer weather, we are getting into the construction season as well. And you got plans for this one. You're saying that we're gonna make this the best one yet here, right? In a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's orange barrel season, right? And there's a couple of different projects going on in the village. One, the state is working on Highway 54 from the village of Buren through the village of Plover, doing a joint repair project. So heading from Plover towards Wisconsin Rapids, it's down to one lane in each direction. Likely be that way for most of the summer. When that gets wrapped up, it's also a road reconstruction year for village streets. So the village every 3 years goes out for a borrowing note, and we do all of our major road projects. Roads that really need to get replaced, right? Mill it down, all new asphalt, things like that. We need to do swale work, etc. So we're working in both commercial and residential areas this year. That work has started in our commercial areas. So our village park at Plover area, so around Menards, Mark Toyota, um, the former Oso property. You've got that area being worked on right now. The Plover Industrial Park on the north side of County Highway B is being done right now. That stuff should wrap up here quickly. And then throughout the summer, then we'll be working in some residential areas, updating those streets. So only happens once every 3 years for us. But it'll be a busy season for our public works crew.
Yeah, and a busy season for the contractors as well. Olive Garden, obviously a favorite of a lot of people. You're getting that, and you've got another big community project as well that you said you're pretty excited about. And actually, as you kind of gave me the details off the air, I kind of got excited about it as well too for you guys because it seems like you're bringing in a pretty big heavy hitter in the region.
Yeah. Yep. So Mullins Way purchased the former Foremost Food Sites that's been in the village since before we were a village. So I think that building was constructed in 1950 and has operated in a similar capacity ever since. It was early 2021, I believe, when Foremost announced that they were closing that plant and relocating workers. Mullins, the owners of Mullins Cheese and Mullins Way up in Knowlton, purchased the property and have completely remade that site into a modern whey production facility. It's got to be three, maybe four times the size of what Foremost was. Brand new, huge expansion, and huge investment in the Plover community. Something that is we're really proud of. This is going to be a site in addition to their Knowlton site. In this first phase, which again is a significant investment, is my understanding just the whey production, so that kind of whey protein isolates. But been a huge investment in the Plover community. They've been a wonderful partner in our community already, sponsoring community events, supporting local organizations. Just a wonderful community partner that we're proud to welcome here.
Then when you say that, what is this really what you're looking for? You're looking for the growth, you're looking for the jobs, and then the local sponsorships, the logo on the back of the fundraising shirt for the event, things like that all really come together, and that's got to feel like a win for the community.
It does. Yeah, it's a business that's familiar with our area, right? Like that Mullins, or excuse me, Mullins, Foremost did whey protein there as well. So the use is the same. And yeah, being a family-owned company from central Wisconsin is always a win. It doesn't have to be that, but yeah, we're looking for somebody that wants to be a good member of our community, and Mullins is certainly that. And again, the we've talked about before, and those well before me, with the village being right on the north end of the Central Sands region and some of the most fertile potato and vegetable growing land, that food production, food service industry is what Plover does well. We have a lot of significant employers in the industry that lends itself well just by our location. So it's nice that we're continuing to build on that. Our workforce is well suited for that, right? They've been here for a long time. So it's a really great fit.
Then as far as home development, what's the year look like for you there? Because I know that's something that you've been focused on, and administrators before you have also been focused on.
Yeah, we're off to another really strong year. Last year, I think, was a record year. We had over 60, I believe, new single family and duplex starts. This year, we're at 18 already. My understanding is we're expecting a similar year to last. And talking with the development community, a couple of subdivisions that have been around for a while are going to fill up this year. We approved, I want to say, almost 75 new lots this past winter that will be put in this year. So we get a lot of single family growth, a lot of duplex growth. And we've also seen a couple of those in the development community having some success with, they look like a duplex building, but they're actually owner occupied on each side. So it's at a price point that's more achievable for many, and they've been having a lot of success with that. So we're seeing a couple of different builders go that route to help some folks either gain entry into the home ownership market, or those looking to downsize while staying in our community. So
Mm-hmm.
a really diverse growth in our residential um, sector here in the village, which again has been, as you mentioned, very strong for many years here.
Yeah, not something that I'm interested in. I don't want to be sharing my wall with anyone. As I told you before, I don't like people, but for some people it is. That's exactly what my sister and her husband have in Nashville. And like you said, that's an entry point, that's a price point that people can afford. And I guess you could say further proof that, housing is a spectrum and you've got to have different options for different people. And if that's what's working well right now, strike while the iron's hot, as they say.
Yeah, like I said, it's not, we're seeing that growth. It's consistent growth, steady growth year after year. It's manageable, right? Like it's not something that's taking us by storm. It's well planned out. The areas that it's going to grow, we plan for it. Sewer and water facilities are can handle that capacity. We're doing a good job.
Then last thing before I let you go, if I remember right, I've seen that you're getting, not only you're working on the Olive Garden, but you're working on Ollie's too. Is that right? At
I
their
believe that's
version
in
of
Stevens
Plover?
Point, actually.
Is
Yeah.
that a Stevens Point thing right
Yep.
now? Okay, well,
Yeah, I think I
never
heard
mind.
something going in the former Big Lots that just
Okay.
closed up
All
there.
right. Well,
So
you know
close to
what?
us.
I was going to give you credit for that, but you know what? Never mind.
Yeah. No, we've got the only other stuff. We got Chase Bank is building
Yep.
in the Kohl's parking lot, a new bank facility there. And then yeah, and then we're still hard at work. There's a potential. We'll be taking it in May, the 90% in bid plans for the police department and fire department buildings to our village board in early May. Seeing if they're prepared to go out to bid and get pricing on what that could be. So continuing to work on that. Our chiefs, police chief, fire chief, and their teams have been working hard. We're nearing a point where we're looking to talk about this more and get some pricing. So
Mm-hmm.
that could all things considered, if things go the way we anticipate them, ground could start getting moved yet this year.
All right. Well, Steve, always appreciate the time. And again, all the best down there in Plover. Good luck with all those projects, and we'll look forward to chatting again in a few months here.
Sounds good. I appreciate the time. My last plug is just celebrate Plover 2026, July 24th and 25th, the last Friday and
July
Saturday.
24th and 25th. Mark it down.
All right.
All right. Awesome. Again, appreciate the time. We'll look forward to chatting again in a few months.
Appreciate you having me.
All right.